In just the last 5 minutes or so, we've learned that a new tip line has been set up for any information about the murders of these two teenagers. That phone number is 844-459-5786. That message coming to us from Indiana State Police. They also say they've gotten around 150 tips so far about this double homicide case. A lot of information for them to go through, and they're trying to come up with leads. Now, right now, we are standing in front of the area where those two girls were found. Their bodies were found just behind this fence in this wooded area here. And we actually talked to the owner of this property earlier today about everything that unfolded this week. Today, for the first time, Ron Logan walks us through his backyard, the large property where the bodies of 14-year-old Liberty German and 13-year-old Abigail Williams were found.
How did these two little girls get here from the high bridge with all this rough terrain without somebody making them come here?
Police and volunteers searching this area.
People everywhere. I mean, it's just people. They had all kinds of rescue teams here. There were boats, people dressed up in red jumper suits and camo garmo.
Eventually making the heartbreaking discovery Tuesday morning. Today, we also got our first look at the place where the two girls were last seen Monday, the Monon High Bridge, which is about half a mile from the crime scene.
So they had to come all the way through this territory to get down in here. Not an easy trip.
We do know the girls were posting photos to social media before they disappeared. Police releasing this picture of a man they want to speak to about the case, but not telling us how they got the image.
He may have seen something that could turn this case right around for us.
Investigators are also reaching out to the girls' friends for any potential clues.
We've talked to some of the kids that were in their class that either had been texting them or talking to them social media or had seen them on the trails.
As for any threat to the community, Sergeant Riley is saying it's up to parents to decide how to react.
Whenever it hits a small community like this, it strikes hard, and it's just one of those things that people have to make their own judgment on what they think they can let their children do and even themselves.
And if you saw anything, if you were in this area, again, you're encouraged to call this brand new tip line that has been set up. We want to give you that number one more time. It's 844-459-5786. Investigators not telling us tonight how these girls were killed. They say the investigation is still ongoing. And we've got information on our website about how the community here, the people who live in Delphi, are helping the victims' families. Live tonight, I'm Gabby Gonzalez, Fox 59 News. Well, Dan Fanchen, the future of Jeff Miller's role on the council will be up for discussion in just a matter of minutes here tonight. But first, he made an appearance in Hendricks County Court asking for a special prosecutor in the case and for a no contact order to be lifted. Jeff Miller walked up to the Hendricks County Courthouse accompanied by one of his lawyers and avoided answering any questions about the criminal charges against him. Jeff, what do you have to say to your constituents? Would you like to share any statement right now? The city county councilor turned himself in on November 17th after the Marion County prosecutor charged him with 3 counts of child molestation. The case has been handed over to a special judge. Now Miller's attorney is also requesting a special prosecutor. Would you guys like to share any comment about what happened today? Thank you. Inside the courtroom, the defense pushed for a no contact order between Miller and his son to be lifted, saying it's not in the best interest of the child to keep them apart. The state objected, telling the judge the child is likely a witness for the prosecution and that any possible visits should be supervised by DCS. The judge said he will rule on that later this week. Tonight, attention turns to Miller's seat on the council. Jeff, what do you have to say about your plans on the council? Miller has yet to resign, despite telling GOP leaders that was his intention on the day he was charged. Jeff, your constituents have been hoping to hear from you about this case. Do you have anything to say to them? Are you intending to remain on the council? But the councilor is opting for silence when pressed on the matter. Jeff, you haven't answered any questions from your constituents or the media. Do you have any statement to make?
None at all.
Any statement? And in just a matter of minutes here, the Committee on Committees will be meeting to potentially reduce Miller's role on the council. And by the way, the other 10 members of the Republican caucus are calling for Miller to step down. We'll, of course, keep you updated on the news at 6 coming up shortly. Live downtown, I'm Gabby Gonzalez, Fox 59 News.
All right, Gabby, thank you.
Well, right here in Jackson County, you can see some of the damage caused by strong winds. These trees falling down on one person's property. And one man we talked to says his wake-up call was a very scary one today.
So that's the hole where it came through.
Raymond Bowling shows us where a tree limb came crashing through his bathroom ceiling Wednesday morning.
It come out of a tree probably 40 foot above the house, and it was just like a spear.
He now looks at the damage with relief, knowing that a sleepy decision likely kept him from being seriously hurt.
Saved by the snooze, yes.
Instead of getting out of bed at his usual time, he hit the snooze button on his alarm.
And about the time I doze off, a couple minutes later, I'm awakened by a limb coming through my bathroom. Right in the spot that if I would have gotten up, I'd have probably been brushing my teeth.
A small shift in his routine helping him avoid a painful moment.
Divine intervention is what goes through my mind for sure. Very thankful that I wasn't in here.
Meantime, in Seymour, a substation fire left thousands of people without power.
I sat on the couch, was watching out the window, and I just seen balls of fire, and I said, oh my God.
This is one of our substations that was hit by lightning, we believe, last night and took the whole substation out.
Dozens of crews were brought in to make repairs, along with a mobile substation in hopes of restoring power as soon as possible. The storm also damaged a transmission pole near Seymour High School. The power outage forcing schools to close for the day.
But we're very confident that we'll have things up and operational again by tomorrow morning.
And if you see some power lines down in your neighborhood, the Duke Energy spokesperson says call them immediately. Do not try to address that yourself. We're going to have the information on how to contact them on our website, CBS4ND.com. Reporting in Jackson County, I'm Gabby Gonzalez, CBS 4 News. Larry Patch.
This flag is very important.
Is a Vietnam veteran.
It's a symbol of our freedom.
Now torn between his love of country.
Football is something that's also American.
And love for the game.
It really hurts when you see people disrespecting the national anthem and the flag that we're out there defending every day.
Inside VFW Post 1587, he holds on tight to Old Glory. Just one day after NFL players took a knee during a song that means so much to him.
I don't think they understand the depth of the disrespect.
Yet he says those sacrifices ensure the freedom to do just that.
That's part of being free, is having to tolerate things that you don't believe in.
But other veterans and Colts fans taking an even stronger stance.
To disrespect it yesterday like you did, I'm done.
Some literally burning their season tickets in Colts gear.
Bye, Colts. I'm done with you.
The Colts players who chose to take a knee responding today, including Darius Butler, whose father and brother served the country.
It's not a protest against the military. It's not a protest against police. It's a protest against the social injustice that's going on in our country.
I feel like, what I took a knee for is much bigger than football.
Just steps away from the center of the foodie haven that is Fountain Square, this bright blue building is supposed to bring the flavors of Greece to the neighborhood. But Santorini Greek Kitchen got a failing grade from the health inspector after evidence of roaches and mice roaming the restaurant. I'm Gabby Gonzalez. Is there a manager I could speak to? We went straight to management to find out why this longtime establishment had a pest problem. I got a look at the affected areas that seem clean now. But on March 23rd, the inspector noted live roaches found in the ventilation right above the cook line and outside the dishwasher. Plus dead roaches in their back storage area, in the bar, between the water heaters and even the plastic light covers.
There was a space outside that we discovered was like an opening for anything that wanted to come in, and it had.
Rat droppings were also found in the basement.
At the bottom, there was some droppings and things like that.
Plus, management threw away 20 pounds of gyro meat after the inspector said it was stored at the wrong temperature.
And they had not put it away yet for lunch, so it was sitting there and it needed to be put away.
The health department temporarily shut down Santorini Greek Kitchen for a day until they addressed all 12 critical violations and slapped the restaurant with a $1,000 fine.
It was a good learning experience, you know. I hate that it happened.
Co-owner Jeanette Sowie said they've been working hard to fix the problems and showed us around to see the improvements.
They put the screening through so that nothing could get in.
Efforts to keep pests out are now in full effect. And Sowie says additional traps are set around the restaurant. They've also put up signs to remind employees what they need to do on a daily and weekly basis to protect customers' health.
I couldn't work in a place that wasn't legitimate. Won't happen again.
After 2 rechecks, inspectors say all the violations were resolved. Next up, we headed to Indy's south side to Wheels of Wonder, where families are encouraged to lace up their skates, hit the rink, and grab a bite. But according to the health inspector, earlier this year, discoveries made among the skates put the brakes on a positive report. The inspector wrote, the floor soiled with remains of dead mice. Specifically, a dead mouse head found behind the skate rental area, a dead mouse inside a bait box, and mouse droppings found under the register at the concession stand. The owner, Brian Jones, did not want to do an on-camera interview, but sent me a statement about the inspection reports, saying in part, quote, I respectfully disagree with the report and have evidence to contradict the inspector's inaccurate report. I have appealed the report. Our vastly inferior competition has used their acquaintance at the health department as a weapon against us. Jones also showed me empty mouse traps during our visit. Inspectors say they got a different experience. On March 18th, Wheels of Wonder was fined $300 for 8 critical violations. A recheck on March 25th led to a $500 fine. And despite what the owner told me, a health department spokesperson says he has yet to request a hearing or contest the fines, and those fines remain unpaid. On April 28th, the health department got another complaint about mouse droppings. The inspector went back out there and confirmed that complaint. Wheels of Wonder has yet to be cleared by the health department. Finally, we searched through records to find our latest Dine 59 award recipient. Another family-oriented business is being touted for its great record with the health department over in Hamilton County. See Our Heroes Family Pub and Fishers is now Dine 59 approved. When you step inside, you're surrounded by images of superheroes and real-life ones known for keeping the public safe. The health inspection records for this place show management has the same focus. Owner Stephanie Boehm gave us a tour of the kitchen. They've gone 5 years with just 1 critical violation. She credits determination and her staff for the restaurant's impeccable inspection streak.
I think you have a responsibility as a restaurant owner to make sure that everything's clean and served in a safe environment, and that's utmost importance.
A lesson for other restaurants still trying to step it up and meet health standards.
I can go back in that kitchen at any point, and it's exactly how I want it to look.
Here's the vocabulary, and you write the word to make a sentence.
Catherine Hinkle is usually focused on teaching her students English.
The girls are sad.
But recently, she started hearing more questions about U.S. immigration policies from the kids here.
We've had students crying, students that can't really pull it back together, students that they hear rumors.
There are around 200 students in the IPS newcomer program. All of them arrived in the U.S. within a year.
Students who came fleeing from violence in their country, maybe from gangs.
In these halls, there is some fear about whether families will be able to stay in the U.S. long term despite their immigration status. Students like this 15-year-old agreeing to speak to us as long as we hide her identity. She says she feels like she has a better future here. Her dad and 2 brothers were murdered in Honduras. She made it to the U.S. last year to reunite with her mom. She says some of us fear going back to our countries because our lives have been threatened. To address these serious concerns, Teachers here hold circle discussions each morning and offer things like art therapy for refugees.
So it's kind of trying to navigate through those feelings, trying to still be scholastic in the end, but trying to make them feel like this is a safe place.
They also launched a new Club Friday to help students learn to channel their frustrations in a positive way.
Some of the things that we're trying to do right now is provide support groups for them, so that they feel that, hey, we understand what you're saying.